Let's do it.
All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the JoCo Weekend Show. I'm Josh.
I'm Corey.
And that's it. That's the end of the show.
That's the end of the show.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend, guys. Now, this is the first episode of our podcast.
The pilot episode, we should say.
Yeah, pilot episode.
To be legit.
We're going to upload this as a video. We're here today, but this will probably not be for the next episode, right?
Correct. It's going to be a little bit more, I guess, have a little bit more structure to it. We're going to try to do this right instead of just, winging it like the first episode.
Well, I think this episode is going to be amazing. So basically, this is a show where we're going to talk about whatever we want to. Let's start off by introducing ourselves.
Yeah,
so like I said, I'm Josh. I stream on Facebook Gaming full time. Love the retro games. Love Mario. That's pretty much all you need to know about me right now. I love food.
Who doesn't love food?
Yeah,
especially when you eat a lot of it at one time.
I love eating food. It's like introducing yourself like that. Like, hello, my name's Josh. I love food. If they don't see you, they're just like, this is a gigantic human. This is a gigantic human being.
That's it. But my name is Corey. I'm in sales. I sell liquor for a living, and as you can see,
what we got?
We have the Jack Daniel's Gold. It's actually no longer being made in the Jack Daniel's family, but
really?
It's very good. Yeah, they don't make that anymore.
So it's like
so we figured we'd start our show off with a nice little toast to Jack Daniel's.
Right.
It may be something different next week, but this time it's going to be the Jack Gold. So
I'll have some.
Would you like some? Would you like to try?
I'm drinking out of a Rick glass.
And I'm drinking out of a Hershey's shot glass. I really didn't have an option. This is pretty much all Josh.
That's Rick from Rick.
Josh, all he did was he gave me a Hershey's.
I just gave it to him. I was like, you don't have an option.
So this is what I've. Next time it'll be different. So.
All right, cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Yep.
Very good.
Smooth.
Smooth, huh? So you got to chase it down with a Red Bull. I don't even have my lemonade. I left it over there. So
you want me to get it for you?
I think I'm good.
No, I'll get it for you.
All right, go grab it for me. So.
I dropped it.
Don't do that. So yeah. I'll take my lemonade,
so this being the first episode, what are we talking about today? What is on the agenda for this weekend?
Well, I figured we could at least some point talk about, I don't know, current events, maybe 90s trends, things back in the 80s, what's going on in the world today. It's really whatever you think, Josh, that we could, talk about. I'm really game for.
Yeah.
This is gonna be terrible.
It's like literally talk about. He's like we can talk about everything. We can talk about current events. We can talk about past events. We can talk about future events.
Yeah.
Aliens.
So. And as you can tell, I'm the only one with the headset because I can't hear Mike without Mike. Wow, who is Mike, Josh? I cannot hear Josh without my ears on. So that's the bad thing. That's why I keep my headset.
Where's your ears?
I don't know.
He doesn't have ears. Don't show them.
No, it's a little warm, but yeah.
Yeah, there you go. You gotta have it on. That was your decision.
I talk, so we're just gonna talk about.
we could start off today talking about our favorite video game of all time.
Ooh, that's a tough one. So, okay, what system though? You got to give me a system.
I have to give you one. Okay. Yeah. What systems did you have growing up?
I had the PlayStation, the Nintendo, the Segas. the basically the '90s game systems that we had. My favorite was Sonic on the Sega, but I think that was everybody's game.
Look, on the Sega, there's no Sega without Sonic. It was a failed console without Sonic.
That's correct. That's correct.
Because the games on Sega, if they made a game for Sega and Super Nintendo,
right,
the Sega one was always worse.
When I got my PlayStation, we did the of course, all the wrestling games, but the N64 would probably be the all-time greatest to me. Cruising USA, come on, man, probably one of the best racing games ever.
Cruising USA, all those cruising games are fun.
Mm-hmm. 007. Shout out to my boy Damien. He loves that game, 007. So.
A fun fact: I never owned a N64.
Really?
Never.
What systems did you have?
So my cousin had an N64, so we could play it over their house sometimes. But growing up, we had a PC, we had a Super Nintendo. Those are the main ones growing up.
And they had a Super Nintendo though.
Yeah, it was my favorite system because it was the one we had.
Yeah.
And it was like we would always try to find the new, not necessarily the newest, but different games. Games we had never played because we would just get a game and just play it until it was just boring. We played until we hated it,
exactly.
you know?
Just played it to where, you remember the ones on Nintendo where, you know, if it got dusty, you had to blow it a few times, you put it in, it'd be scrambled, you got to start all over.
We would yell at we go like this, like in this game, we bang it. Yeah. What? And just yell at me like the vibrations from our voices will make the game work.
It's supposed to make all that dust go away.
Exactly.
So, yeah, we used to play Nintendo all the time.
And they said you weren't supposed to blow in the game.
Yeah, it had the warning sign on the back. Like you can't
and it's like, well,
they gave you brushes and stuff to clean it with. Yeah, we did the complete opposite. We never had that stuff.
Well, I think they wanted you to buy the cartridge cleaners, you know.
Exactly. It's all a money thing, man, where you just buy more stuff to make it work. And
exactly.
Yeah. But I would have to go with, if I didn't say Sega, I would have to say either N64 or either N64 or Sega. That's my top two.
Yeah.
So of the old school games, and of course PS4, PS5. That's the hottest thing right now, anyway. So.
Oh yeah.
Or Xbox.
Like the new age of gaming isn't fair. It's not fair to compare, you know, because now it's like real life. You're playing a real person.
Yeah, they look like real life characters, and it's just unreal.
Have you played the new God of War series?
I have not. I did not play God of War.
Look, that's what you got to get on the PS5 because you got a PS5 now, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't want everybody knowing that though.
Well,
so just don't tell them again.
Okay, we won't tell them. Okay, so you got a PS3.
I got a PS1, you know, with the string controller. It's all raveled up and it won't work. Yep.
No, but you gotta play that though. It's such a good game.
I think the PS5 that I got, I think I had the God of War combo.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So, but it didn't give me the game though. It was the you had to, I think it's like the digital copy. You got to go in and download it. So
that sucks. But hey, I mean, it's still you can.
I mean, it's free. You know, I mean, I paid for it. It just has to go in and download the game. So.
Yep.
Yep. So Josh, how was your day today? What you got going on?
You know, I just woke up and then I was like, let's do a podcast, and now we're doing a podcast.
Now we're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, it only took us an hour to set this thing up.
Bro.
After failed attempt, after failed attempt, after failed attempt. And then we come to realize there was just one cord.
Look.
Out of all those wires and stuff that's down there.
Literally one cord. It was such a headache.
It is.
Like, that's usually how technical stuff is, though.
Yeah.
You know, you troubleshoot for 3 hours just to figure out it was one thing. It's the last thing you look at, you know.
Yeah, just one simple thing. So,
but you know, like setting up stream and all that stuff has taught me is that every now and then you'll have a problem and it'll be the first thing you check, and it's the most satisfying feeling ever.
Exactly.
When you have a problem and you're like, oh, maybe it's this, and you do it, and it's like that's the problem, and everything's perfect.
It's kind of like when we would put a display piece together at one of the stores. For the first time, you just have no idea how to do this, and you don't realize how frustrating it is until after you've put it together. Well, then the next time you do it, you're like, yeah, we remember how bad this was. We're going to get it right this time. Yeah. So, and 9 times out of 10, that's the way it works.
I feel like that's life, though. It's just messing up enough to be able to do stuff the right way, you know?
That's it.
You're like, well, that was awful, you know? Got to do a little better next time.
And that's it. That's exactly. It. So how's your gaming thing going, man? How's your streaming for...
Facebook, yeah.
Facebook, yeah. How's it going?
It's going well. I mean, it's going a lot better than I ever could have imagined it would.
Well, that's good.
You know? So we're I think we're close to 10,000 new follows in the last month, which is a lot for me, you know.
10,000, yeah.
Yeah, because
especially when you only play like at night, late nights, right? Aren't your games late night?
Mostly, yeah. Sometimes we'll do like bonus streams. I'm earlier now than I used to be.
Really?
Because
over there, you know, you were in Denver and
So I moved to North Carolina from Colorado, and so in Colorado it was 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time is the time I would stream. But now it's 9:30 p.m. Eastern
11
time.
o'clock over here, right?
Yeah, so it'd be 11 o'clock here, but now it's 9 o'clock here, so it's 2 hours earlier of stream. So,
right.
But yeah, it's going well. And Josh Oh My Gosh on Facebook Gaming, check it out.
Yeah, check it out, Josh Oh My Gosh. You'll see it in the link right there.
Right where?
Right here. See it right there?
Right here?
There. That's it. That's the link. So
I thought we were going to touch.
Is that what we were going to do? So,
nah, it's too late now.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is going very well.
This is so bad. This is so bad right now.
Very well. This is the best it could have ever went.
All right.
How long are we in?
It took us 9 minutes to do
9 minutes. We're out of material.
Well, that's just the introduction. It's nothing. What did you use on this? Did you use Chrome?
Chrome? What do you mean? Oh, the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here, I'm gonna look something up real quick. I want you to Why does it keep doing this?
Oh, you know what we could do on this podcast right now?
What's that?
Have you ever done Wordle?
What is that?
Type in Wordle. It's a New York Times. New York Times bought it. It's a game.
How do you spell?
WORDLE, I think.
Yeah, Wordle, the New York Times.
Yeah. Click on that.
Okay.
So it's like every day there's a new word. Okay.
Okay.
And it's a 5-letter word, I think, something like that.
Yes, it's how to play Wordle in 6 tries. Each guess must be a valid 5-letter word. The color of the tiles will change to show how close you are to guessing the word.
Exactly. So if it's like a plain, like if you guess a word, my go-to first guess is always aisle. They don't give me any hints. It's just like guess words, and I do that because it has an A in it, it has an S in it, it has an E in it. So and then if you guess the correct letter in the right spot on the word, it turns green.
Oh, okay.
If you guess the right letter in the wrong spot, it turns yellow.
See, I was doing it like Wheel of Fortune, just hitting RSTLN.
Oh, no, it has to be a real word.
Well, yeah, I see that now. I thought I just read the letter. So I guess we'll do Iowa, AISLE.
That sounds
It worked. It worked.
Oh, okay. So there's an L and an E at the end. Okay, all right.
Oh,
but they're in the wrong spot. Yeah.
So it needs to finish with the E. So maybe
No. It needs to. Those are in the wrong spot. So the E is not the last letter. The L is not the next to last letter.
So the AIS, that is a word though, right?
AIS has no. They're not in the word. Those letters are not in the word at all because they're black. They just stay black.
So the L and the E we need to use.
Yes.
Okay. Dude, we're really doing this on the podcast.
Yeah.
Words.
Yeah.
Okay.
And look, it's like people.
Wait a minute,
you just have to use your imagination and picture the word.
Wait a minute.
What are you doing? Are you cheating?
How can?
I don't know.
Hang on. So the real topic of this show, obviously we've wasted about 15 minutes of everybody's time. The real topic of the show of things that we did in the 90s that are no longer done or being done
So
today.
we're just not going to do the Wordle.
No, Wordle is just like something that...
You hate it? Okay. We won't do it. We don't have to do it.
I'm bored with it already.
I'm not going to cry, but I am going to sit here quietly and make sniffle noises while my eyes
Okay.
perspire.
So I got this list here.
Mm-hmm.
It says, okay, what is one of the things that we no longer do, like you don't see a lot of anymore? I'm just reading off this list. What's one thing that you would think right off the bat that
Things from the 90s that we don't see now?
Yeah, or that we no longer do. The first one up here was long phone calls on the landline. Remember when you had your phone and the cord was like maybe 20 feet
and you couldn't walk far away
so
from
far.
it.
Yep. That's the first one up here. Long calls.
Okay, let me try to think of something.
Yep.
Something we did in the 90s we don't do now. I was a kid, so it's like I'm trying to think of something a kid like we did in the 90s and like.
Well, here's something you don't see anymore: disposable cameras.
Oh,
that's because I mean everything's cell phone. Yeah, where you
click,
you take the picture and I'm out of film. Yeah,
and then you just like once it's done, you just take it to the
and then you just hope that the pictures are right.
Yeah,
you turn it in, and the next thing you know, all the pictures were just bad.
It's like your aim was a little because I used to do that because you could hold it and you would think you were holding it straight,
and it'd be a
little tilted one way or the other, even though you're looking through the eye hole and you see straight through the eye hole. Yeah, that was ooh. And then you remember like CVS and like those pharmacies used to actually do.
Right, you take it to them and they would develop your film. Yep. Yeah. Another one is use the phone book. I mean, dude, we just Google everything now on the phone. I mean, nobody ever does that stuff anymore.
If they brought a phone book, they did. In Colorado, they did. They brought us a phone book, and I was like,
do they even have phone booths anymore? That's one thing you don't see much anymore. Like phones where you just you pay to put in pay to use a phone.
There are tourist attractions now, and they don't work. I'm pretty sure.
No, a lot of them probably don't work anymore at all.
I think in like Europe, I think there's places that have them though still, right? Like in London, London, I think has those red boxes.
I've never been to Europe, so how about you?
I haven't either, but I watch a lot of YouTube. Let me tell you what, way too much. Oh, are we having another one?
Why not, right?
All right, I guess I'll have one more.
With just one more.
Very, very weak drink that I'm not about to cough up.
Hey, that's the thing. Use a payphone. That's one that we just talked about. That's on this list. So another one. Memorizing phone numbers. You don't have to really remember phone numbers anymore.
Yeah, it's like because I used to be like I would know my mom's number, my aunt's number, and my grandma's number. Those are the three as a kid that I had to memorize.
Right.
That way, if I needed something, I had 3 emergency numbers that I just knew off the top of my head. Mm-hmm. And obviously, there were other numbers I would like kind of learn along the way, but. not real. Like those were the ones that were like, even to this day, dog. I'm 33 years old. I can remember my 5-year-old house phone number.
I can't remember ours too. I don't know. Well, we haven't had a landline. I mean, I probably in 20 years, but yeah, I can still remember mine. We had the same number my entire life. So
we had a different. When I was 4, we had one, and then when I was 5, we moved and got a new number. But it's like the 4-year-old number I had to memorize, and I kind of. It's like on the tip of my tongue.
It's there, but
it's like I couldn't remember it if I thought.
It's deep in the filing cabinet.
Yeah, the next one I still know to this day. So,
how about this one? How about record the top 40 hits on a cassette tape? Did you ever do that?
Bro,
you had a CD cassette combo.
Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. But I used to have these cassettes that I would record for road trips and stuff, and I call them trip tracks. Trip tracks.
I got to drink that.
And
trip tracks.
Look, hold on.
Cheers to trip tracks.
Cheers. But let me finish explaining. Like, so I would be like a DJ on there too. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, "Hey guys, it's Josh," and
kind of like what we're doing right now.
Yeah. No, I had like a little recorder, you know, and I'd just record a little like a radio DJ. I'd be like, "This is Josh," and then sometimes I do little sketches with myself, you know. I'd be like, "Oh no, someone's breaking into the studio! What are you doing?"
Do you still have those?
Dog, I
probably
do.
Gone.
I think they're at my mom's house, like just stored in. I should look for those.
Yeah,
they're absolutely
that would be cool. Yeah, we could do that on the show.
You can hear like 8-year-old Josh recording songs. It was awful, but I loved it, man. But music selection always S tier, always top tier.
Yeah.
And
I always liked it when you would get like a CD. And, back then, a lot of cars they said the cassette players in the car. There wasn't many CD players in cars, so you would get a CD to play at your house, and you play it on your stereo system with the cassette combo.
Oh yeah,
and you record it, and then you go put it in the car.
Yeah.
So
I would just usually have to. Like, I did that eventually, but when I was making those trip tracks, I had to wait for the radio. I just feel like wait till a good song comes on the radio. Oh, I like this one.
Yeah, that would be good. You try to get it on time.
Yeah, you cut out the first 3 or 4 seconds trying to get it. You know.
How about this
one?
There in time. Spending Friday night in a Blockbuster, man. I think isn't there one left somewhere in Alaska or something like that?
I don't know. Did you see that show? There was a show on Netflix that was like it was about the last because it's got Randall Park in it.
Yeah,
and it's like about the last.
It is in Alaska. It's in Anchorage, Alaska. Yeah. That's the last.
But yeah, there's a show on Netflix about it.
Really?
Well, it's a fictional show. It's not like a documentary.
Right.
But it's like
just something they created to kind of make that
Oof. All right, I'm gonna drink this. I guess
I've already got mine, so go right ahead.
Oof.
So, yeah. But what about some of the TV shows, man, from back then? I mean, you think about it. The shows that they play on TV now, I mean, you'll never see shows like The Fresh Prince, Family Matters, sitcoms, all that stuff. Full House. I mean, you'll never see.
The age of the sitcom is kind of over. It's either comedies and dramas now that are just like,
And they're trying to bring a lot of them back. I mean, you had Boy Meets World, everybody like that. Friends, that was big back in the day. I never watched much of Friends though. Yeah. Martin was a really good one. Did you like that?
That was a good one. Jamie Foxx show, those kinds of shows.
They were good.
That was just the golden age of the sitcom. And we didn't know it at the time. It was just like that was television, We didn't know that we were in an area of the sitcom. We didn't know it.
And like if you think about it, man, our generation is like the last generation with the no technology. With going out with no cell phones. That was
we were wild. Dude, imagine doing that now. It's like, oh, where's your 14-year-old kid? Oh, he went to the movies or something. Yeah, he doesn't have a cell phone? No, we don't have those. Oh, okay. Well, all right. So he's just out there, right?
We used to go outside and your mom or your dad would say, hey, look, don't come back until the street lights come on, and they just lock you out of the house. So
I got locked out during the summer. Yeah. Because, here's the thing, though. You got to think, I have 3 brothers. So it'd be 4 boys in the house with our mom. Yeah. She was like, get out of the house. Yeah,
it's time to go. You got to go.
We had so many adventures, though, man.
I know, man. Climbing up trees. Just stuff that you don't... I mean, you see kids doing this stuff nowadays, but it's
different.
It's different, yeah.
It's like a small...
It's a small window.
Yeah. It's like kids will go outside and like, okay, time to be a time to take my tablet outside into the tree.
And play the tablet up there. Yeah, it's just not, not like it was when we were coming up, I guess. But I mean, you guess,
I think
with the times.
I think at a certain point, though, that's just life,
Yeah.
Like, because, think of our parents. They were like, oh, you guys don't know how it was when we were kids.
Because they'll always say, hey, the 80s or the 70s were the best. And, we're always telling the younger generation, hey, the 90s was the best, so it's...
And, like, the next generation, like, the ones coming in the future, these kids now are going to be telling their kids, like, oh, we had it so good. We had tablets. Now you guys have your microchips in your eyeballs and you just stare all day staring at the wall.
That's it.
So it's like it's always going to progress. Technology is always going to be different from generation.
Man, it's amazing how fast it's gone, especially in the last 3 to 5 years, man. I mean, dude,
absolutely crazy.
It's just,
it's going to be wild.
Just like this, this laptop phone, for instance, man. You remember in school we used to have the big old box computers. Where
the Macs?
All the students had to use that one.
Yeah. You remember they were like see-through?
Yep.
Dog, man. Oh, we're old. You're old, man. Look at you.
We're getting old. We're getting apart.
Oh, man. Those were the days that we had computer class in school.
Yeah.
Do they still teach computer in school?
I have no idea, man.
I feel like they should, but
they should.
I think it's just a normal. I think every class is just like all.
I think a lot of them have. Don't a lot of them have like tablets and stuff in it now? Anyway, I mean, I don't know of any classes that probably don't even offer that stuff in the classroom. I mean,
look, if they don't have it, they're behind the times.
Yeah.
It's like that's the wave of the now. Forget about the future. It's like if you can't use a computer or touchscreen or something, you're gonna be behind.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's definitely a change of pace, man. So everything's so sped up now. But
exactly.
You expecting a call there on your phone? We were talking about no cell phones.
You're literally on a computer.
Well, I'm trying to find things.
I can't find things.
Huh?
I can't find things.
You were checking the time.
Hold on, let me find things.
Yep.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, how about this one? How about the Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
How about the internet dial-up noise? When you would try to get on the internet and you start the.
It sounded like some kind of technological monster,
and don't pick up the house phone when you're on it. So it's really bad.
Imagine being in the middle of a download and then someone picks up the phone and you got to start it over again.
Yeah, it was bad. Like this is what I'm talking about.
Oh, you got it? Hold on, let's listen.
Oh man.
And it actually dialed.
Did it dial? Like who are you calling? Like who's
calling the internet?
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? Listen to this.
Oh man, sounds like the 90s to me.
God,
early 2000s too, really.
Yeah, late 90s, early 2000s.
Tom, listen to that.
God, can you imagine if kids today had to wait for internet to come up? I mean, it would just be insane. So
Tom, we never paid for internet either. We always had the AOL discs, and we would just do free trial. And if that ran out, another free trial.
Another free trial.
We just kept stacking them.
That's
why AOL went out.
I ain't lying.
See, their business model was too easy to circumnavigate.
Yep. Just giving it away.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Tom, they had the little Tamagotchi things. Remember those little things that you played?
Oh, you mean that your pet died?
Yeah. He would you'd go to sleep, he'd be fine. You wake up, he'd be dead the next morning. Like what in the world, man?
You'd be like, all right, he's a 100%. I just fed him. He's asleep. You take like a 2-hour nap. You wake up, there's poop all over the screen. He's dead. He's starving to death. You're like, you can't survive 2 hours.
So how do you die in 2 hours?
Oh man, it was just a losing game. It was impossible to keep your pet healthy.
How about those? Remember those slap bracelet things? That when you slap they used to pop the crap out of us when we were kids, man. They just do it on purpose, like pow, and they leave a mark on your arm. Yeah,
exactly.
It's really bad. So
what else you looking up over
there?
There's
a bunch of stuff, man. Of course, talking about the Fresh Prince, Game Boys. How about Game Boys, man?
The Game Boy big Color, old gray
big old bricks. Yeah, like a big old brick. They were heavy too.
I saw a post. That's the computer I was talking about.
The Mac. Yep.
Yeah. I saw a post on Facebook. I think it was yesterday. Where it was like, pants pockets used to be huge for the so someone put a Game Boy in the pocket. It was like
side pocket. Yeah. It's like now, I mean, phones. I mean, our phones are the size of Game Boys now. So
well, yeah, they're not as thick though. They're
right.
the same size, but
right.
like the thickness was the crazy thing with the Game Boy.
That's right.
And they were built pretty tough too, because it was like you could break the shell and it wouldn't affect the Game Boy. You know that like you could, because we had chips and stuff in ours.
What Game Boys did y'all have? I had the regular and the advanced.
We had gone through every single, like between all four of us, we had all of them. Like
really?
We had, so when we were little and the classic was the only one out, we had like two of those. Like my two older brothers had one.
So they were supposed to share and you never got to play?
Yeah, I would play it occasionally, but you know, not much. And then when my mom made them share, you know, I would get to play. But then I got a Game Boy Pocket. That was my first Game Boy, and that belonged to only me.
Really?
It was Game Boy Pocket.
Oh, I forgot about that. The game, it was a little small, real thin.
It was exact same.
It was in black and white. I forgot about that.
Exact same black and white as the original, but it was just small. So I had the Game Boy Pocket, and then my brother, he was like a year and a half older than me. He got the Game Boy Color when it came out.
Right.
So it's like at that time we had all three Game Boys in the house.
Oh wow, you had all the ones that were out. Mm-hmm. You remember the Sega Game Gear? You remember when that was a thing?
They took like 1,000 batteries.
I know, and it would die in like 2 hours. Yeah. Just the battery life was just awful.
Here's the thing: it was ahead of its time. Like it couldn't keep up with the power demand. You know,
man, the Sega Game Gear was like, and I think the only thing that was up there was I think Sonic. I think Sonic was probably one of the main games.
Sonic was the main game I remember. Like I don't remember any other games.
I don't either. I mean, I had a Game Gear, and the only game I had was Sonic.
Yeah,
but I think remember.
We had two games. Oh, Tetris maybe? No.
Well, Tetris was on the Game Boy.
Yeah,
that was Game Boy.
There was something like that though. We had Sonic and we had a second game, and I can't remember what it was. Like a puzzle game, kind of like it wasn't Tetris, but it was like you know, the same idea. I can't think of what it was.
Right. Yeah, I used to like when we had the Game Gear. It had that like the magnifier that you sat on top of it that made it look bigger.
Oh no, yeah.
But the screen was already big anyway, so it really didn't even matter if you know.
The reason it did so well was not for any other reason but that the screen lit up and you could play it at night. And the Game Boy at night,
color, where the Game Boy was black and white, and you couldn't play it at night. Yeah.
Well, it was. I think it came out with the Game Boy Color though, but the Game Boy Color was still like the screen didn't light up.
Yeah, it wasn't a backlit like an LED, like the what's like the Game Boy?
The advanced, the flip one.
Well, the advanced didn't have the backlight.
No, but the advanced, it was like advanced something. It flipped open.
I know what you're talking about.
But I can't think of it. Yeah,
I can't think of it either.
Yeah, they took them a long time, but they did much better with the battery. They had a rechargeable battery on it.
Oh, the Game Boy.
One,
yeah. Because those. Well, I think it took like either six AA batteries, and they'd be dead.
Oh yeah, the Game Gear was 6, and it was just like. We had a drawer of like dead batteries where it was just like, oh, maybe it'll work with the Game Gear. It's just like, you know, you're trying to mix and match zombie batteries in it to get 5 minutes of playing time.
I know, just try to like, hey, let me just beat this one level, and then you get right there to it, the thing dies. It's like, come on, man. So how about floppy disk, man? Remember those things that you put like you would? I mean, it probably wouldn't hold today a half a megabyte of anything, but man. We used to have stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, and then I remember our computer teacher, she would just be like, never touch the ribbon.
Yeah, the ribbon. Don't slide it over and touch it.
Yeah. Never touch it. And I'd be like, man, that makes me want to touch it even more, to be honest. Like,
don't put your fingerprints on it or it'll mess it up. So
never touch it.
I'll tell you what's a hot thing, right? Well, it was a hot thing that was back in the 90s that a lot of people said they don't do much anymore is Pokemon, man. Yeah, that Pokemon did a big...
Pokemon's made a bigger now than it's ever been, I think.
Yeah, well, there's so much of it now where before it was just that one thing. And
it was a niche, you know.
Yeah, remember when Digimon came out and I think Magic the Gathering tried to follow it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah. But I mean, Pokemon was really the only one. I guess Magic. I guess that's still around at some point.
I think they're all still around at some point, but still not like Pokemon is still the biggest one.
Pokemon is the staple. Pokemon has the name. People know that. Hey, people know what Pokemon is. Some people hear Digimon or Magic, and they're kind of like, "Oh, what is that?" You know.
Here's the thing, though.
But Pokemon is well known.
You know what the most popular trading cards were? That are niche now, but that started everything, are the sports cards.
Yeah, the baseball, the basketball,
football.
I never had a lot of those. My dad was big into that stuff.
I had a few, but yeah, it was more like I only had a few because they were so popular back in those days. To where it was like, oh, I got a rookie card that's worth $1,000, and you're like, oh shoot.
I know, but now it's like, hey, that rookie card is probably like worth nothing. So,
well, those old ones are worth buku bucks now.
A lot of the old ones, especially if they're signed or if they're graded, taken good, taken a good, taken good care of. Yeah,
exactly.
So,
we're doing a podcast. What's up, guys? This is the JoCo Weekend Show.
The JoCo Weekend Show. Did we introduce ourselves as that?
Yeah, we did.
Okay,
we did. But I just want to remind everyone who we are, so you can make sure to tune in next week.
Oh, we're done.
No, I just wanted to look. Here's what you do: you say your name a few times throughout. That way, people know. Wait, here, let me see. How long have we even been?
I don't know, but I'm. How about what are we doing now?
What does that say?
30.
All right, we'll do like
15
more minutes. Yeah.
So how about this? How about VHS tapes? VHS tapes.
Be kind, rewind.
Yeah, that was the Blockbuster thing. Like we were talking about earlier. It's like, man. What's one thing that you never will probably ever see again with the way cell phones and stuff are now?
What do you like? Give me
pagers.
Oh,
you'll never see somebody.
That was a really good hint.
That's like the original text message.
My brother had one. He thought he was so cool too. Yeah. He would like wear it on his belt outside. Yeah. Like he'd have his shirt hanging except for where the pager was, just to make sure everyone saw the pager.
Yeah, so it's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna my shirt's tucked in, but I'm gonna untuck this one side.
Like, hang on, let me check my pager.
Yeah, let me look at my pager. Yep. That's just crazy, man.
Yeah. God, that was so stupid, man.
It's like let
me find the phone.
Yeah, now I gotta. I've got this message. Now I gotta find the phone. But like, who knows what the message was even about? What if something was going on at that time and you couldn't get to a phone for about 2 hours?
But here's the thing: it did make sense because a lot of people, especially people who live like busy lives, would be like gone from the house all day. They'd wake up, get ready to go, leave the house. They wouldn't be home until the night. So it's like if someone had an emergency or needed to get in touch with you, there were no cell phones. So it's like,
how do you get up with somebody?
It's like if they didn't come to your job or school, it was like.
Well, just think about travel, man. I mean, no GPS. I mean,
maps.
Maps. I mean, nobody today, let alone. I probably couldn't do it either. I know I couldn't. But how would you even fold the thing? I mean, you'd have to watch a video. You had to be taught to fold a map. But we used to have to use stuff like that we no longer. Landlines are pretty much going to go away soon, unless it's a business. Yeah. Maps, phone books. You're not going to see. It's probably not going to see a lot of that stuff.
Everything's going to be digital. It's going to come down to the cell phones, like devices.
Yep.
This is the wave of the now.
Yep.
Big old cell phones, and then. In the future, it'll be something like heads-up display,
put that out,
like glasses. Like it'll be just something really convenient to use. It's like voice command is with Google and Alexa and those things.
Yeah.
Stop listening to me.
Yeah. See? It's like we have more technology listening to us now than we did back in the day. How about TVs with no remotes? Like you break the remote, you're just done. There's no universal remote. You have to go up and turn the knob or hit the button by. It's just. Yeah.
Now remotes are like Bluetooth, like they pair with your television.
Yeah, you look at the headsets, for instance. People talk on that too, and
Yep.
Yeah, it's a big difference. Even
you're making me feel old. Maybe I am old, but
what's one of the oldest things too? Is how about the Kmart Cafe? Remember when you go to Kmart, you could get like pizza and hot dogs and all that stuff.
Here's the thing:
Kmart's even around anymore?
First off, no. Second of all, Target does that. They have the little like snack bars, right? You know,
but it's different. It's not different. It's different. I used to like when we go to Kmart, they have the blue light special, or they sell it special, but the prices were so high
to where it was like a reasonable price.
Yeah, it was like, hey, this is what it should be all the time.
The blue light's on, everything's 20% off. You gotta go now.
Yeah, and then by the time you get in there, they cut the blue light off. Everything that was on sale is no longer on sale.
Like, well, since you're in here, buy something anyway.
I know. It's like, well. Yep.
Our Target had a Little Caesars pizza inside of it. Our Kmart.
A Little Caesars. Well, most of them were Little Caesars, weren't they?
Yeah,
Seems like it.
I used to love Little. I mean, I don't like it that much anymore.
Right.
But back in the day, I was a big fan of Little Caesars because you could buy pizza by the slice.
Yeah.
For like it was like $1 or $2, for a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
And,
Here's a good one too. Remember when you would have your like game system hooked up to the TV? You had to either turn it to channel 3 or channel 4, whatever.
Oh
the
yeah,
box was
for
set
the
to.
yeah,
just to get it to play. Yeah,
you had the little coaxial cable.
that's right. You had to plug it up to a channel to make it work. Yeah.
See, that's how we had our Super Nintendo hooked up because Super Nintendo had a little box.
Yeah,
I don't know what the box was for.
It was so you could choose if you wanted channel 3 or channel 4. I used to have one of those too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I never knew what the box was for. I was like, it's a coaxial cable with a random box in the middle of it.
And on the back, it had a choice, a switch.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I used to have one of those.
We just kept, we plugged it in and that was that,
That's it.
Until we had, every now and then, like every few years, if we switched TVs or had to unplug it for whatever reason, that's the only time I ever really messed with it.
Yeah, me too.
Oh man, bro, I love the Super Nintendo. I can play that thing all day.
I know, we need to go get one.
Well,
I used to.
No, I don't.
When Pokemon was big back in the day, they used to have the. Remember Superboy? Like you could play your Game Boys in the Game Boy.
No. It was Super Game Boy.
Super Boy, Super Game Boy,
I have one.
You did?
Yeah, I still have one.
Cool, yeah, because you could play your Game Boy games in the Super on TV.
Bro, my favorite part of that, first of all, I just loved playing them on there.
Yeah.
But my favorite part was having the backgrounds to choose from.
Started, like the sides, you mean?
Yes, the borders. Because it was just it looked like a Game Boy screen.
Right.
Originally.
Yeah.
But you could change it. We used to do there was a movie theater. There was different stuff.
Yeah.
But the one that we used to love doing was you could draw your own. It was like a white border, and you could just take it was like a Microsoft Paint type thing. Yeah, where you could paint stuff, draw designs and stuff on it. That was the best. And then it's cool. After that, just playing your favorite game on a background that you made.
Yeah.
Oh man!
And then you turn it off, and you have to do it all over again because you couldn't save nothing. Well, you could on the game, but on the actual
on Super Game Boy,
you couldn't save anything.
You're right.
Just start all over.
Mm-hmm. So you had to draw it if you wanted a custom one, you had to do it every time.
Every single time.
But they had I think it was about 10 different borders you could choose from, something like that.
Right.
What are you looking at? Oh,
I hit the wrong thing. I wasn't trying to do that. So.
Hey, pay attention to what you're doing over there, okay?
I was trying to. So. You know what you don't see a lot anymore either is the like the water guns. You don't see the super soakers and stuff. They're not making. You don't see a lot of that anymore. I mean, the Nerf guns are still around.
Let me tell you something.
You see that with the super soakers. The water guns.
They probably stopped making them for a good reason because when we were kids, those super soakers were way too strong.
Well, they would hurt. Yeah.
I feel like I was drowning too sometimes. If you got caught in the wrong spot and someone got you with those big pump action ones, you were just there was nowhere to take a breath. If you couldn't run away, you were done. You were just done.
Yeah, you would be soaked. And next thing you know, and instead of shooting back, you just ran away and just didn't do. I mean, you dropped the gun.
Yeah.
Then whoever was shooting you with the water gun picked it up and shot you. I'm that's man.
Because it was a pump action where it was we had one that was 3 pumps was the maximum you could do on.
Yep.
And then it would stop. It would kind of lock up because there was so much pressure in there. Mm-hmm. And when you shot, it would just sting. It would sting.
It would hurt. It would.
So then they went to constant pressure system, which was a weaker pump where it was just it would go longer, but it wouldn't hurt as much. It wasn't as strong of a thing. And then they just basically turned into a squirt gun. And then now you don't see them anywhere anymore.
I've noticed a lot of things I don't see anymore either. It's remember when we were kids, you'd sit. I mean, I'm sure they still do it. Sitting in the back of trucks, just going through the neighborhood, going through town in the back of the truck. You just don't see that anymore.
I'm not going to get anything except the drink.
Get the lemonade. That's one thing that you don't see much anymore either. So
I remember even when I was in high school, our wrestling coach. He had several trucks, but we used to have to take our wrestling mat to different tournaments and stuff.
Right.
So I remember one time, it was the winter time. It had to be 30 degrees outside Fahrenheit.
Man,
we were in the back of the truck sitting on this thing going down. It wasn't the interstate, but it was one of those county roads where it was a 50 mile per hour speed limit.
Yep.
It was we were going
with
down
nothing to hold
freezing,
on to.
Bro, in the back of a truck.
Nothing to hold on to.
Oh my gosh, you would talk about just I mean, it was a memory I'll never lose. Like I'll never forget that.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. They got another one up here, like going to the library for research. Like when you're doing, I guess in school. Well, I guess we had to go to libraries when we were in school, but now, I mean, if you just look up online, or you don't have to really do much of anything like that anymore.
Yeah.
So
going to the library. Yeah, because like information is at your fingertip. Anything you need to know. But in those days, it was like,
Remember when you had to go in there and you had to, what was those little, you pull the thing as those little cards.
Oh,
what are they called?
Card catalog.
Yeah, and then, they were supposed to be in alphabetical order, and people get in there and just mess them all up.
Well, it was the Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah.
So it was like numerical order.
Numerical, I mean, yeah. Or as my buddy Pete says, American order. Says, he can't say numerical, but hey, we'll forgive him. It's in American order. We do it by the numbers.
Why you have to call out Pete like that? He didn't deserve that.
That's my buddy, man.
Nah, he didn't deserve. I'm calling him. I'm telling him. I don't know him, but I'll tell him what you said.
We'll call him after the show.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Dog, this is fun, man. Like, I forget we were doing a podcast.
Oh, we're doing a podcast? It is fun to just talk about stuff, man.
Yeah, I talk sometimes.
I know some of these words.
Good burger.
All right, best 90s show like you watched growing up. What was your favorite show of the 90s?
I mean, back in the day, one of my favorites was definitely Malcolm in the Middle. I don't know if that was 90s or not.
Maybe late or
I think it was late
90s.
Yeah, I think it was like 98. But that was one of my favorites back in the day. Also, like the Nickelodeon cartoons.
The cartoons back then were like, if you go back and watch them now, and some of the stuff that they do and say, it's like, wait a minute.
They got away with a lot.
But it's like, how did we miss this as a kid? I mean, look, Rocko's Modern Life, for instance. Dog, there was stuff in Rocko's Modern Life that would not fly today.
Dog, Ren and Stimpy.
No, that was bad too. That was bad.
That was the worst. Ren and Stimpy was
Ren and
like
Stimpy was bad.
Shouldn't have ever made.
Those are about tit for tat. Ren and Stimpy and Rocko's Modern Life were two of the worst. They were great shows. Don't get me wrong, some of the best, but they were the worst for hidden meanings. Malcolm in the Middle was 2000.
Oh, almost.
Yeah, January of 2000. So.
Well, I'll say the Nickelodeon cartoons like Rugrats.
Yeah, Rugrats.
Real Monsters.
Real Monsters was probably one of my favorites. Like I said, Rocko's Modern Life was my go-to. I really liked that. But when they started bringing out, Hey Arnold was good, but that was at the turn. That was like when Nickelodeon was turning and stuff like that. You don't see the shows that we grew up watching like that anymore.
It's just like, you're right. Like, I don't know what, like, now it's more of the, like, 3D animation style.
The cartoons, It's just, it's a lot different. So, I was a big Power Ranger guy. By far.
Power Rangers was good.
Yeah, the best.
Rita Repulsa. Yeah. Lord Zed.
That's it, the original stuff. Not the stuff today, but, hey, everybody likes what they like, so. How about how about the Animaniacs? You remember them?
They're back on TV.
I know, but
or Hulu or something.
Hulu, I think. But still, it's like I meant the original Animaniacs because now a lot of that stuff's probably been cut out or.
Well, it's just different. It's like new,
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
But Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah, Pinky and the Brain was good. I'm like you. I was more of a Nickelodeon. Of course, Courage. Courage was a good one. That was Cartoon Network though. Yeah. But yeah, Pinky and the Brain. That was good. But that was That was an Animaniacs thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
It's like a knockoff.
But we didn't have cable growing up. Yeah. My grandma did, so it's like those kind of shows remind me of going over to my grandma's house. Mm-hmm. She would make pizza with the pepperonis that curled up into the cup of grease. And you don't know about the curly pepperonis?
You talking about the little round thing? Not bagel bites. You're not talking about bagel bites, right?
A pizza.
Okay.
But the pepperonis would curl up.
Oh yeah. They were like round and they looked kind of. I know what you're talking about. They looked like they were about the size of a quarter.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They had different sizes sometimes, but they would curl up into like a cup, and it would just be like the grease would just sit in there.
Just sit in there and mess your stomach all the pieces.
Mm-hmm. We'd eat that and then chocolate swirl ice cream.
Chocolate swirl.
That's what I remember from my grandma's house. And then we would just watch Nickelodeon, and then we'd go all the way because we would be there on the weekends. Usually Friday and Saturday. We'd get dropped off Friday night, get picked up Sunday, or we would go to church on Sunday, and then our mom would pick us up from church. But like, so we would go Nickelodeon into Snick.
Snick,
Saturday Night Nick.
Yeah, all that. Kenan and Kel, the good stuff. So, see, I was always like, you remember the cartoon? I think it was more on Fox Kids. It was Extravaganza. You remember that?
Yeah,
You
right.
remember that?
Fox Kids. I used to watch that. Yeah.
They had gargoyles and all that stuff up there, man.
Yeah.
Just a lot
I
of
think
good
all
shit.
that turned into WB, didn't it?
Well, yeah, it was always Fox 22 and it was WB 50, and then I think they switched. Now they're WB 22 and Fox 50. Well, it was. I don't know what it is now.
Fox Kids. And
You
I think
remember,
it depends on the logo.
you remember the Street Sharks? The Sharks on rollerblades? Like, dog, like, what kind of show was that? Like, who picks a show with sharks
Static
on it?
Shock was it?
Yeah, that was
same time.
I was a big Goosebumps guy. I love the Goosebumps.
Just
Them and Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Stop it!
Remember Are You Afraid of the Dark? They kind of had
Oh,
the same concepts.
Are You Afraid of the Dark felt like it was for older, like a little older. At least when I was a kid, because I wasn't allowed to watch that when I was allowed to watch Goosebumps.
Well,
And
Goosebumps
then
was based off a book.
Yeah.
You know, Are You Afraid of the Dark was, the
I used to
Midnight
read-
Society.
Those were good, like for a kid to read. They were easy reads, but still like very enjoyable.
Yeah,
books.
and they were very descriptive too. I don't want to say graphic because it wasn't scary, but like the way R.L. Stein
Painted
wrote
it,
that stuff, man, it was like you could
could
see
imagine
it. You could see it in your brain.
I
as
love
you
it.
read
Those are my favorite books.
Yep.
As a kid. Like I didn't even like reading as a little kid, but when it came to Goosebumps, I loved reading those books.
I did. I used to.
I read
have,
them all.
I used to have the whole.
Most of them.
Yeah, I used to have the whole collection. I think it was book 1 through. I think it was 62.
There's a lot.
I think it was Monster Blood 4. I think was the last. Well, back then. Now it's that's the original. It's a lot different now.
And then they started because they had the thick little small novels, short stories.
Yeah.
But then they changed over to have the picture book type, the bigger books that are thinner. So and they wanted more kids to buy them, but.
Yeah, I never really got into the fancier stuff. I was always just, the original stuff's always seemed to be better anyway because they were kind of, and all the new stuff is just pretty much based off a lot of the original stories anyway. It seemed like they just kind of,
they just made it.
How about Doug, man? Did you ever like Doug?
God, I love that.
With Skeeter and Pork Chop? Yeah.
Patty Mayonnaise?
Yeah, I forgot about the movie. Patty Mayonnaise, yep.
Yeah. I love the movie. The movie
Roger
was
Klotz.
better than the episodes for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do
Do I need to play it? Can we do that? We'll get in trouble if we do it, right? We can't. I don't think we need to do that.
I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, let's not test it. I don't want to test it. So yeah, we tested and we're like,
That's okay. I'll sing it. Wait, that's a different.
Yeah, we're gonna get copywritten from that. So let's
Dang
just
it.
stop. I'd rather not even do it. Period. Especially if you're singing. So.
Oh.
How about okay? Let's see. How about Ed, and Eddie? Did you ever watch that? This is all Cartoon Network.
That was a good one. Yeah, my brother was big into that. He actually put me on to Ed, and Eddie.
Oh, how about Tailspin? You remember that one?
What is that?
It's with Baloo, the big bear. They were flying in a plane. I don't remember that.
Where's it at?
What? It's right here.
Oh, I can't see that.
Well,
bruh.
I'm trying.
I want to see the picture.
I don't have a picture.
Yeah, how do you not have a picture? You're on a computer. We were just talking about how all the technology, all the information is at our fingertips.
All right, hold on. Let me see. You'll probably remember when you see the picture. This guy.
Tailspin.
Baloo.
Okay, yeah, I didn't watch that. I do remember that though.
I like that show.
I wasn't big into that one.
I don't think it was around long. I think it was just maybe one season, a couple episodes. It wasn't very long. It wasn't a very long running show.
Why? Because it wasn't good.
I mean, I enjoyed it. So, how about Captain Planet? You remember that one? Oh my God, Captain Planet was what got it all started in the 90s.
Yeah,
that was
one of my friends has Captain Planet tattooed on his leg.
Oh really?
Yeah, on his calf. It's got Captain Planet.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
With your powers combined, I am Captain Planet.
Can we play that, or are we in trouble?
We're probably not allowed to play anything out.
Yeah, we might. We would just better just leave it alone.
Captain Planet, he's a hero.
That was a good one, man.
That was a beast. The 90s. Look, if we had a time machine, that's how I know time travel's never gonna exist because no one showed up in the 90s.
No, and nobody would ever want to leave if they went back. Because I'm telling you, there's some good times back then, man. I mean, even movies. Movies are great. So
we didn't know how good things were. It's just normal. We took it for granted.
I know. You see, when I travel in my travels, I pass by schools and you see kids out there playing this. Like, man, they really don't know how good they got it until You know, get our age and they're saying the same thing we are. It's like, man.
That's how it is, though. As a kid, you're like, I can't wait to be a grown up. When I'm a grown up, I'll get you pizza every day.
Yep. And then you look like us, for, all the time. You end up looking like we do. And you don't want to do that.
Hey, but at least you got pizza every day.
That's it. Pizza every day. So I think we just ate a bunch of Wendy's. So I think I'm good on that one for a while.
Yeah. Sponsored by? Nah, we're not sponsored.
No.
But if you want to send us a couple of dollars, Wendy's,
I love those.
I'll take the money.
Love those 10-piece chicken nuggets.
Oh man. Are you about ready to wrap it up for the week?
I mean, I guess so, man. Are you?
Yeah. This is week 1. I think we just keep it kind of short. And then week 2 we're gonna come back with a new topic of discussion, and we're gonna plan it out ahead of time next time.
Yeah, this was fun, man. You gotta think, man, just from having whatever this light thing that you got here is. I mean, it's kind of setting up the way we did. I mean. Wow, it's actually been 51 minutes. That's, should we have even said the time in this, or does it matter?
Well, I don't know. We may trim it, one way or another, but we'll see.
Well, there was a point there, man. I was like, I didn't even know we were podcasting. Just.
Oh yeah, we were just sitting here talking. But yeah, I'm very. This is the JoCo Weekend Show.
This is the JoCo Weekend Show.
The JoCo Weekend Show.
Is that 2 V's or 1?
It's the with a W.
The with a W. Well, the weekend, I get it.
Yeah.
Weekend's got a W in it.
No, silent W and V.
Gotcha.
Well, man. Well, thanks for watching, or thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate
we'll be back every weekend, maybe.
Yeah, that's the plan, right?
Yeah,
we're gonna see how it goes, and
if
it works, it works. If
JoCo Weekend Show.
If it doesn't work, we'll keep trying to make it work.
If it doesn't work, it'll work.
It will work. So.
Yeah, guys, just keep watching or listening wherever you are.
Yep.
Oh, there's a camera. Has that been here this whole time?
Should we have a goodbye shot for them?
Gosh, I've already had 2.
Well, so have I. We started midway we drank.
We'll have one
say
more.
goodbye.
Last one.
So we're gonna have our. This will be our see you next week shot.
Yep.
Nothing too crazy, but it's just a cheers to. Hope you guys have a great week, and
don't fill it up, please.
Oh, I won't, man. I'll just do what I did a while ago.
Limited edition Jack Daniels.
It is, yeah. If you guys see this, Jack Gold, make sure to pick yourself up a bottle. It's very, very good. So
well, they don't make it anymore. So
they don't.
It's
so
a collector's item.
It is a collector's item. So whatever you see, you better make sure you get it, because that'd probably be the last time you ever see it, unless you just run across it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So,
cheers,
guys. We appreciate you coming by. Thank you, and this is to y'all. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
That's good.
Oh. All right.